Good afternoon and welcome to Maple Microdevelopment. Here I am with our guest, Madelyn Hjertman, that came all the way from North Carolina to spend some time with us here in the Llaguepulli region, Llaguepulli territory. So Madelyn, how has your experience been? It's been about a week now. We're leaving today back to our offices in Temuco. How do you feel? How has your experience been for the last week, and what have you been doing?
Yeah, so personally I feel much calmer than when I arrived and like I probably have learned more than the local community has learned from me in the workshops. But the reason I came was to try to practice some potential curriculum for teaching some business fundamentals to the entrepreneurs in the Llaguepulli community and Alllipen community, so that they can make their farms, their craft businesses, and their hospitality businesses more successful.
So today Maple works with 3 communities in the Llaguepulli territory bordering the Llaguepulli region, and in the 2 communities that Madelyn mentioned, in Alllipen and Llaguepulli, the workshops were conducted, and they were both different. The different workshops. In Alllipen, it was specifically for a group of women. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit more of how it was to be bonding with the women. And who are these women? Who are they?
Yeah, so in Alllipen, there's a group of women that Allison has been working closely with called Kusao Zomo, and it's a group of women who have traditionally been housewives, working in their homes, but have these different skills related to traditional crafts and an interest in learning more skills. And so this group has been coming together to figure out a strategy of how to learn from each other, and also how they could sell the products and earn a profit to grow basically a collective business that would benefit them individually and in their community. We worked with about 7 women for 2 days, and by the end of it, felt like a great sense of accomplishment, that they had gone from thinking I think they came to it thinking it was going to be very difficult, and came out of it knowing how to calculate their gross profit, having an idea of how to price their products, and being able to describe their mission and their ideal client, which was just so exciting to see, because it was all skills and knowledge they already had that they got to share with each other and clearly define for themselves.
Wonderful. And yesterday we convoked a group for the Llaguepulli workshop that you spent some time with. There were about 30 people at this time. And how do you feel that experience? We're finishing today, so
it was a totally different experience, because just the group being bigger and more diverse. It was a really good challenge, because all the people present in the Llaguepulli workshop have different types of businesses. So some of them do a combination of agriculture and hospitality, so they have cabins on their property, and then others are more focused on crafts like weaving or silver. And so they all had different, very different projects and experience.
I did want to bring up something very important to the work that Maple does here with the communities, and it has been a pleasure working with Madelyn on some of these concepts. More specifically, the concept of values and how important that is with the work that we do as a whole.
So one of the things that I had learned from Maple, and one of the reasons I was interested to come and try to collaborate on some workshop designs, was because we can't just bring in a Western business plan outline and expect that the people here are going to embrace it and and be successful under those new terms. So what we tried to do instead was to begin each workshop with a discussion about the values and the life values like family and community that are most important to the participants, and use that as the foundation for any work or business projects that they are engaging in. Because if we're only focused on money and the financial bottom line, it tends not to resonate as much with the participants. So beginning with that theme, we then continued on to talk about finances in the context of how it helps them maintain their chosen lifestyle and traditional cultural practices.
And speaking about traditional cultural practices, you had some personal insights in your stay with a couple of families here in the region. How was that? How was your stay? And
it was exciting. So we arrived in Llaguepulli, and Allison and Ignacio had prepared me in many ways, had given me a lot of information, and then they dropped me off at the home of Madelyn Hjertman and said, okay, bye, and then they left. And then it was up to me to use my mediocre Spanish and the information that I had to engage with the family and learn what I could about them, and also to tell them a bit about myself. And one of the things that I was most surprised and also pleasantly surprised by was just the openness of the people that I stayed with, the willingness to share with me about their lives and what they care about, what's important to them. They like to joke around, and after the first couple of minutes, I felt totally comfortable and at home with them, despite not being able to understand everything they were saying, and vice versa. And I'm really grateful for that experience and getting to engage with such open and kind people.
well, Madelyn, it has been an honor working with you this past week. We had started our collaboration and conversations since last year, and finally something was solidified in these days here, and we hope to continue the conversation in the future.